What's going on, baseball fans? How are we doing? So this guy is going to be a hot commodity on the trade market this year, and I have come up with 5 teams that I think are the best fit for Max Scherzer. Let's go talk about it. Before I get to my list, I wanted to go over Max Scherzer's numbers really quick. He's having a very good season through 12 starts and 77 innings pitched, a 2.22 ERA, a 3.04 FIP, over 12 strikeouts per 9. Max Scherzer is having a very dominant year. He's pretty much the only bright spot on this Nationals team. Wherever Max Scherzer ends up going, he is going to be huge for that team. And real quick, before I get started with the list, I wanted to go over some honorable mentions. I think these teams would be a great fit for him. I just don't think they're going to pull the trigger. The Red Sox aren't going to want to go over that luxury tax line. The Dodgers are probably going to look elsewhere on the trade market. The White Sox already have plenty of starting pitching. They could go for a Max Scherzer, really establish themselves as the top team in the American League, but I think maybe they could look elsewhere to help address needs on their team. The Padres are always looking to add starting pitching. They've been adding starting pitching since the offseason, but they have already given up a ton of prospects. Do they want to give up more prospects for a rental for Max Scherzer? And the Yankees, similar to the Red Sox, don't want to go over that luxury tax line. And the Yankees, they already do have quite a bit of starting pitching. Their starting pitching has ranked pretty well this year. So these teams, I think, could go for a Max Scherzer. I just don't think they're going to. Up first, I have the Houston Astros. I think the Astros could definitely benefit from a guy like a Max Scherzer, especially not having Justin Verlander this year. Having a Scherzer in the fold for the stretch run, I think could be really good for this Astros team. Let's go take a look at some of these numbers really quick. As of right now, with the rotation, you're looking at Zach Greinke, Jose Urquidy, Luis Garcia, Framber Valdez, and Jake Odorizzi. As of right now, Houston ranks 13th in the major leagues in starting pitching. Not bad, but not great either. Kind of middle of the road. Adding a Max Scherzer could really establish themselves in the American League West. As of right now, they are behind the A's by a game in that division. So getting a guy like a Max Scherzer could be similar to that Justin Verlander trade they made a few years ago, really establish themselves as the top dog in the American League West and could make them a huge threat in the playoffs. And if you're wondering what a trade could look like between the Astros and the Nationals, maybe something like this. Send a Scherzer to the Astros, get 4 prospects in return, and maybe this could get it done for the Astros. Up next, we're going to stay out in the American League West and go to the Angels. I think this Angels team is talented enough to make a playoff run. I just think they need some more starting pitching. Let's go take a look at the numbers as of right now. Currently, they rank 18th in the major leagues in starting pitching. That's not going to get it done. And if you're looking at the rotation right now, it is lacking this year. Dylan Bundy has not been himself. Andrew Heaney's been okay. You have Griffin Canning, Alex Cobb, Patrick Sandoval. Ohtani's been very fun. He has been very good. But Ohtani, just because of the workload, they have to manage his innings. So I think adding a guy like a Max Scherzer could be very good for this rotation and definitely really help them get back into that playoff race. As of right now, if you take a look at a possible trade, you could maybe send Scherzer and some cash to the Angels, maybe get back someone like a Jordan Adams, a Kokonowicz. I mean, maybe that could get it done. And yeah, I think he would be very good for the Angels. Up next, we're going to stay out west, but go to the National League, and I think Max Scherzer would be huge for the San Francisco Giants, who have been quite a surprise this year out in the National League West, especially with teams like the Dodgers and the Padres out there. This Giants team has been very good so far this year. Let's go take a look at the numbers. As of right now, the Giants currently on the year, they rank 7th in starting pitching. They've had very good starting pitching this year. However, in the last couple of weeks, you see here, the Giants only rank 16th over the last couple of weeks in starting pitching. It looks like that starting pitching is starting to come back down to earth a little bit. Maybe they could use a bit of a boost, and Max Scherzer, I think, would be huge. If we take a look right now, the Giants, I mean, you got guys like Kevin Gausman who are having a great year. Johnny Cueto is looking like his old self. Logan Webb is currently on the IL. Anthony DeSclafani, Alex Wood, they've been pretty solid for the most part. I think getting a guy like a Max Scherzer for this rotation would be huge. This Giants team, like I said, they are surprising this year, but right now, they are currently leading the National League West. And hey, get a guy like a Max Scherzer for the stretch run, maybe win that division, at least maybe get a wild card spot. I think Scherzer would be huge for the San Francisco Giants. And one thing the Giants do have in their favor is a good farm system. I think the Giants have a few pieces here that they could send back to the Nationals, maybe a 3-for-1 here. You got Ortega, Corey, and Schmidt that you could send back. And hey, get a Max Scherzer for the stretch run. I think that could be pretty good. Up next, we're going to go out to the American League East, and I think Max Scherzer would be huge for the Toronto Blue Jays. They really could use some starting pitching. Let's go take a look at some of the numbers. I think Max Scherzer would be huge for this staff. If you take a look at the numbers right now, they only rank 28th in starting pitching, and it's not a surprise. After Hyun-Jin Ryu, it's kind of a toss-up. Ross Stripling, Steven Matz, Robbie Ray, Alek Manoah, he's a fun prospect, but I think they really need a guy like a Max Scherzer. If you take a look right now, Toronto, they are 4th in the American League East. However, they are only 3 games back of a wild card spot. Toronto, they have a very good offense this year, one of the best offenses in the game. I think if you get a Max Scherzer, helps solidify that starting rotation. I think that would be huge for this team in the second half of the season. If you take a look here, and another thing the Blue Jays have in their favor, they have a really good farm system. Maybe a guy like a Geraldo, a Jimenez, and a Van Eyck can go back to the Nationals for a Scherzer. Maybe the Nationals could throw in some money, get another prospect out of it, or maybe a better prospect. I think these two teams could be a really good fit for a Max Scherzer trade. However, in my opinion, I think the St. Louis Cardinals would be the best fit for a Max Scherzer. Let's go take a look at some of the numbers here. As of right now, St. Louis only ranks 21st on the year in starting pitching, and they just got some bad news recently. Jack Flaherty, he's going to be out for a little while, has an oblique strain. I mean, you're losing your ace here. That's not going to help at all. This Cardinals team has really struggled as of late. You got guys like Adam Wainwright, but after that, it's really a toss-up. You got Johan Oviedo, John Gant. I mean, Carlos Martinez has been really inconsistent. You need another guy for this rotation. I think the St. Louis Cardinals would really benefit from a Max Scherzer. And hey, comes from Missouri. I think that it just makes a lot of sense in every way. And I think that the Cardinals have some prospects to get it done. If the Nationals throw in some cash here, maybe you can get, 3 guys, maybe Nunez, Thompson, and Torres. I think they could get this done. Getting a Max Scherzer, I think, would be huge for the St. Louis Cardinals. If you take a look currently at the standings, St. Louis is 3rd right now, 3.5 back in the Central, 4.5 back of a wild card spot. They've lost 6 in a row currently. This Cardinals team, I mean, they're falling fast. If they could soon get a guy like a Max Scherzer in that rotation, I think that would be huge for this Cardinals team. And in my opinion, I think they would be the best fit for Max Scherzer. So those are the teams that I think would be the best fit for this guy. Tell me what you think down below in the comments. Where do you think Max Scherzer should get traded to? But that's all I have for right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.